Come back here.
Let go of me, I'm serious.
So am I. Now sit on the couch and watch the commercial.
No. Okay. Yeah, come on. Listen.
It's August. August is a great time to be a fan of theme parks. Around this time every year, many of the parks around the world release all the new announcements and updates they have planned for their theme parks. As the parks are about to close after the fall season, they want you to get excited for what they're building during the winter.
And you know what new announcements means.
Headlines! National coverage! So don't screw this up!
Anyway, last week Cedar Fair announced all their new upcoming rides and updates for the 2023 season. And we thought, why not go over each and every one of these with you?
The lucky viewer.
The lucky viewer.
Ridiculous.
And as your wonderful park pals, we wanted to condense all these announcements into one nice video for you. Because you can stop at 5 or 6 videos, or you can just stop at 1.
I don't need friends, they disappoint me.
So we're going to be going through each of the Cedar Fair parks one by one and sharing our thoughts on all the new announcements.
In alphabetical order.
In alphabetical order, that's how we're going to do it, because we're smart here.
Yes.
We have letters.
So let's do it!
But before we get into these announcements, we wanted to just take a moment and say
Oh, thank you.
we started making these videos a couple months ago, and we just hit 100 subscribers. We're probably over that now. Look at that. We're so proud. Anyway, you all are the best. It's a great start, but we want to keep this train rolling and keep building this great community around theme parks.
So you're not subscribed.
Is that a threat, Mia? Maybe. Anyway, thank you all. We're gonna get into the video now. All right, so the first park we're gonna talk about today. It's a sad story. Cue the sad music.
California's Great America. For those who are unfamiliar, Cedar Point, not Cedar Point.
No, Cedar Fair came out and basically announced that they're gonna slowly murder California's Great America. They're slowly gonna decommission the rides one by one.
That's almost sadder than just closing it.
It's kind of like what happened to Jaga Lake a while ago.
So, surprise! They're not getting anything!
So sorry, California's Great America fans. You don't get anything this video.
No, sorry.
Moving on to parks that do get something.
Canada!
We're going to Canada today.
They're getting Canada. They're getting not one thing, 2 new things.
Yes.
They're getting a flat ride, surprise! Tundra Twister. It's a giant looping ride with rotating gondola arms. Sounds just like any other flat ride.
Yeah, this ride is 45 meters tall.
In Canadian,
because they're Canadian, they use those fancy things. But to us Americans over here,
oh, yeah.
It's 148 feet tall.
It's pretty tall.
And again, quoting the website, this mechanical marvel is the only attraction of its kind in the world and promises a unique thrill experience unlike any other.
It kind of just looks like a big top spin, which is already something they have, but you didn't hear that.
Hey, it's a new ride.
It's a new ride.
I'll take it. But this is also not the only thing that Canada's Wonderland is going to get.
They're also getting Snoopy's Racing Railway, which will be the park's 18th coaster. It is manufactured by Art Engineering, and it's kind of just like a family kiddie launch coaster that launches up to 50 kilometers per hour in Canadian.
In Canadian.
Yeah. And 31 miles per hour in American.
Yeah, so it's a little kiddie coaster, and you know,
18 coasters. They have a lot.
There's no POV out of this ride yet, but we do have this illustration that shows a little bit of what the layout is going to look like. So there's some small amount of theming, which is always nice.
Yes, especially for little kiddie coasters.
Yeah, in the end, I think this is going to be a good addition to Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah.
There's always the disappointment of, oh, it's just a family ride or it's just a kiddie ride, but we have to remember,
For the kids.
in
Sometimes
these parks, they do need to be able to accommodate children.
Why?
What have children ever done for me?
If you know the popular coaster Friedenswürger Zauber Express at Fantasiana in Germany.
We are sorry. It turns out this park is in Austria.
It's same manufacturer, same type of kiddie coaster. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very similar to that.
And I'm sure no Germans are going to be mad at you for your pronunciation, Mia. Anyway, moving on down south to Carowinds. They are pretty much getting a complete new land with this update, which is great.
Yeah. They're getting a new land called Aeronautical Landing. It's going to be themed to aviation, as it's going to be taking over the area by Afterburn.
Okay, I need to pause real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, an aviation land. I see where you're coming from, North Carolina, first in flight.
But
we all know where the Wright brothers are from.
You're doing great.
Anyway, this land looks like it's going to have some pretty solid theming, or higher tier Cedar Fair theming, which is always good. And this park is going to be coming with 4 new flat rides.
Plus a retheme to the bumper cars. They're going to be getting Air Racers, which is a Zamperla air race ride. I've never been on one of these, but they look sick. It looks like a fun flat ride. I like going upside down on flat rides.
They're also going to get a new ride called Airwalker, also a Zamperla, sort of tugboat.
Smaller surf dog for those.
Yeah, it's a tugboat. Think of like a smaller surf dog for those who are familiar with that iconic marvel of engineering.
Yes. They are also getting Gear Spin, which is another Zamperla. They're getting a lot of business this year.
Good job, Zamperla.
It's a Nebulas novel.
Nebulas.
I believe that's how you pronounce it. These things look cool, but in my opinion, I've been on one. I mean, they're fine. They're kind of a little boring.
Yeah, their rides are right. You know.
They're more for just looking at it. They look cool, but new flat ride. I'm just saying, take it. And then they're getting Gyro Force, which is not a Zamperla. It is a chance ride. It's kind of just one of those rides where you sit in the disc and you kind of just spin around, but it looks fun, you know?
Yeah, but new area with 4 new flat rides. Solid. Good job, Carowinds fans.
I think the winner for the area for me is Air Racers. That'll probably be the one I'm most excited to go on. For this land, they are removing 3 attractions though, which is the Plants vs. Zombies arena, the Yo-Yo, and the Southern Star attraction. I'm a little... okay, hear me out. I know Plants vs. Zombies is kind of just not that good, but I have good memories on it.
Are you kidding me? Fantastic.
I'm gonna miss collecting the golden notes. And I never been on Southern Star. I heard it's very uncomfortable, but I always wanted to try it, which sad I won't.
It looked interesting.
It looked interesting.
Yeah.
It's the Jimmy Neutron pirate ship, goes upside down. But what I find funny about this area that they are keeping Boo Blasters, which I'm curious if they're going to do anything to make it match.
They could put the booze into an airplane.
Boo Blasters on
Boo Blasters
Hill.
in the sky.
Yes.
On Aviation Hill.
On Aviation Hill.
Boo Blasters versus
the Wright brothers.
The Wright brothers, who are from Ohio. Speaking of Ohio, we are moving on up to the flagship park of Cedar Fair, Cedar Point.
They're also getting a new area called the Boardwalk, which is supposed to be like a modern day take of classic Cedar Point. There's basically just going to be a bunch of general updates to make the area look nice. They're moving their Scrambler and Matterhorn to this area, and they're also repainting and renaming some of their rides to match that boardwalk theme.
Speaking of the Scrambler, they are changing the name to the Atomic Scrambler.
That is the biggest announcement so far.
They are renaming the Tiki Twirl to Calypso. Ooh. They are also making a new Grand Pavilion eating area. It's so fancy, it's so elegant. You know, when you go to the theme parks and you gotta feel fancy pinkies up in your
at the
new place.
boardwalk.
At the boardwalk.
Oh yeah.
And now we are getting into their new
Roller coaster.
They're getting a new roller coaster at Cedar Point.
Wild Mouse, which is a family spinning coaster.
It's not really Wild Mouse, but it's more inspired by a Wild Mouse.
Yeah.
There's no POV out on this yet.
Only an image. But if you have ridden Bug Coaster at Jinko's Jungle in Jordan, This is a similar ride experience, only the bug coaster is a little smaller.
Is it made by the same manufacturer?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same model. What I find funny is that we replaced a low capacity ride with Wicked Twister with another low capacity ride with Wild Mouse, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
fine.
Again, they need more rides for kids at Cedar Point because what are you gonna do at Cedar Point if you're under 48 inches? You can
Who
ride.
cares, Joel? It's the thrill capital. No, that's Six Flags. It's a roller coaster capital of the
Yeah.
world. No one goes there for
Yeah,
kiddie
but
rides.
before this ride, if you're under 48 inches, all you would have is Woodstock Express
Yeah,
and
Wilderness Run,
Wilderness Run.
which
Yeah.
not your
so
best.
they needed
options.
something. Now, if this ride is over 48 inches, that would kind of defeat the purpose of it. But
Icebreaker. I also found this out by looking at all the rides and the height requirements for this video, and I kind of forgot that you only have to be 48 inches to ride Millennium Force.
yeah, so you can go from Woodstock Express to Millennium Force. That's your next step,
Congratulations,
kids.
Anyway, moving on.
We're gonna go over 3 parks real quick because it's very easy how we're gonna do this. We're gonna go over Dorney
Dorney
Park,
Park,
King's Dominion, and
King's-
possibly King's Island. There's King's Island
There's rumors.
There's rumors. I don't know if these are true or not, but we've heard that maybe they'll have their own announcement video because they want to be special or
They're just
something.
special, like.
But as of right now, for these rides, we only have one announcement.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
All right, moving on to Knott's Berry Farm. Personal favorite of ours. It's a great park.
They are getting an update to Fiesta Village.
So basically, they're just gonna make this land look fresh and
Fresh.
nice. It's
There's a
gonna
new
look good.
restaurant, new entertainment, just fresh coat of paint, just, you know. Anyways,
Montezuma's Revenge is getting refurbished and renamed to Montezuma.
the Forbidden Fortress. But anyways, there is a change coming to the launch system where it is random every time, whether you go forwards or backwards.
Okay, that's cool.
That is cool.
That's really fun. I just imagine one person though that they really want to ride it both ways, and just the luck of the draw, they always get one direction, like forward or
Yeah.
backwards, and they've gone on it 20 times in a row. And they always end up getting the same one. That's gonna happen to someone. I'm
That is
calling it.
going to happen to someone. I have no idea if they're going to keep the flywheel launch system. I kind of hope they figure out a way to keep it somehow, since it was kind of the first of its kind and the only one left. It's like a big part of like roller coaster history, but I don't know how it would work going forwards and backwards randomly, so I don't know if they're keeping that. And yesterday, or at least yesterday as we're recording, Knott's Berry Farms released a short little video of what the new trains are going to look like, which is a little controversial.
The restraints
The
don't look great.
restraints.
They look kind of like the Tigress restraints
And
that
you
if you
know-
watched our video on Busch Gardens,
You know how we feel about those.
you'll know how we feel about these restraints.
I mean-
They're not the best in the world.
The comfort collar. Oh. But the train itself, it looks cool. Highly themed.
Up next, we have 2 more parks to go over before we get to our last one. And this is Michigan's Adventure and Valleyfair. A very similar message for you, I'm sorry.
You get nothing.
Michigan Adventure, man, I'm sorry.
Their last coaster was from Geauga Lake.
And it wasn't
the
even
crappy
it
one.
wasn't even a good one from Geauga Lake.
Disappointed but not surprised. What is a surprise is Worlds of Fun.
Saving the best announcement for last, other than the autonomous screen. We know that was the
Yes.
best announcement of this video. But
Worlds of Fun, kind of the wild card of these announcements, because they are getting a brand new roller coaster called Zambezi Zinger. It's built to be a little homage to the previous ride of the same name. It used to be there, it used to be a Jetstar. They kept the spiral left tail
Yep.
of the classic Jetstar. It's going to be manufactured by GCI and Skyline, and it's going to be a hybrid. Just on,
Kind of.
Just on one turn in the lift hill.
yeah, so it's not really a hybrid, but still, a wooden coaster's always.
Yeah,
I like.
GCI.
I really like wooden coasters,
Yeah.
especially these new
What I
ones.
find funny is that this is Worlds of Fun's second GCI, which, good for them.
Yeah.
They're going to be using new trains on these. GCI's new train, the Infinity Flyer. And obviously, I've never tried them before because this is going to be the first time they're being used, but they look kind of comfortable. Like, are these the new Intamin restraints of the wooden roller coaster? They look nice.
Yeah.
They look real nice. This seems to be more on the thrilling family coaster side, kind of like one step down from Mystic Timbers. It looks fun though. It has like a mixture of a twister and just like a classic, like airtime filled wooden roller coaster. I think it's a good mix of the two.
Comment down below what you're most excited for. Which of these rides do you want to ride the most other than the Autonomous Scrambler? Because we know that that is the top of the top. And nothing is going to beat it. It is above Steel Vengeance. It is above Iron Gwazi. It is above Velocicoaster.
Anyways, stay parky, you pals. That's cheesy.